Good evening, friends. I didn't leave any lag time this for this episode. And if you're just tuning in, and there's only one person watching, and I think I know who that person is. That's four people now. If you're just tuning in, this is it's kind of like an old school radio show that we do, but it's done through Facebook Live, and it allows us to interact with each other and talk about things that are happening in our community. My name is Robert, and I hardly ever introduce myself. So I wanted to do that and say hello and say good evening. If you're wondering about the black screen that you're seeing, it's on purpose to kind of make this even more like an old school radio show. And with that said, let me get to our wonderful sponsor, lest I forget, which I probably would have if this the wonderful sponsor's copy was not on my desktop here. I would like to thank from the bottom, the top, the middle, and both sides of my heart. I would like to thank tonight's sponsor, Forester.org. They are a local nonprofit with the mission to reforest and clean urban communities. They are based in Castro Valley. They are a nonprofit, and you can learn more about them and what they do at their website, which is forester.org, and that is spelled FORESTR.org. If you're not familiar with them, on Saturdays, you probably will see their group near the freeways picking up trash. Local folks who care about our community, who are doing a lot kind of behind the scenes to clean up and improve our town. So I give you that one more time. Thank you so much, Forester.org, local nonprofit. Their mission is to reforest and clean urban communities. I'm adding clean because that's what they do. More information, Forester.org. That's FORESTR.org. They're from Castro Valley, which is cool. So let's get into the roll call, and I'm behind. You guys are so far ahead of me. Good evening, Bob. Bob is excited to go bowling, and I will have some information about the bowling alley a little further in the show. Good evening, Kimberly. And I've got that update specifically for you about the bowling alley. Good evening, Kathy. Good evening, John. John, I've got some information for you. You may have seen it on the page as well, but some good stuff happening on Castro Valley Boulevard. Good evening, Nathan. Westlake, a Crow Canyon. I apologize, Nathan. I don't understand your message. If you could throw that at me one more time and clarify. But good evening, Nathan. Laura is here. Wonderful evening to you, Laura. I appreciate you listening to the show. And Laura has consistently a lot of great insights and information that I don't know about. So thank you, Laura, for coming back and listening to the show. Dennis, good evening to Dennis. Good evening, Elda. I hope I said that right. And a good evening to Melania. Good evening to you. Oh, Nathan is in Ohio. Awesome. Thank you for listening from Ohio. That is cool. Melania is VA is Virginia? Is that Virginia? And grew up in Castro Valley. We get a lot of people listening from other locations in the United States, tuning in to hear what's going on in their hometown, and I think that's really cool. Welcome home, Melania, to the show in a way, sort of. We're still here on the roll call, so if you are listening and you want to shout out, post a. Okay, I'm glad I was correct that VA is Virginia. Awesome. Oh, I just broke a rule. I just sniffed. Well, I just sniffed during the show. That was one of the things that I was. advised not to do. Nathan, live on Crow Canyon, and that's something that we could probably talk about because there's a petition going around. We posted it on the page. Some residents on Crow Canyon are very concerned about speeders and the traffic conditions on Crow Canyon. Good evening, Eunice. How are you doing tonight? And a hello back to you. Just bear with me one second. I'm looking through the comments here. I don't want to miss anyone in the for the roll call. But getting back to Crow Canyon, there is a petition from some residents on Crow Canyon looking for some sort of remedy or mediation to the speeders and the. Good evening, Karen. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. Let me say something about Karen. Karen's got a huge heart, and I was fortunate enough to meet Karen at, I think it was the very first CliffBurton day that we had here in Castro Valley. That was at the Castro Valley School of Music. And oh wait. Bob is saying I missed Marshall Abbott from San Diego. Good evening, Marshall from San Diego. Donnie, hello from North Carolina. Grew up in Castro Valley. Well, I'm gonna have to break out a map here and put some pins on all of the geographic locations that we're reaching. That's awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wow, I need to pause because that's super cool that people are tuning in from across the US to hear what's going on in their hometown, our hometown of Castro Valley. So as Nathan had commented, he is also, oh gosh, I forgot to explain. Karen, giving you a virtual hug here. I know we all missed CliffBurton Day this year. Hopefully next year we'll be able to get together and celebrate that day. However, I don't think you can get any better than last year's when we were at the Moose Lodge, when Connie and Ray Burton showed up to celebrate CliffBurton, and unfortunately, not much longer. Ray passed away, but it really was an honor to have Ray there and Connie and members of Death Angel, members of Testament. These are all metal bands. Roger is asking, is this an open forum or there's a topic? And what we do is actually kind of a bit of both. So if you have a topic or a comment, a complaint, a confession, feel free to post it in the comments, or if you prefer, you can text me at 510-331-9112. And Elda is asking, do I know what is replacing the lot that had mobile homes trailers by Norbridge by the library? What is probably going to happen at that location is there's, I think, 1 or 2 residents left in that trailer park, and the owners have owned it since, I think, 1974. And what they're looking to do is sell that property. It will likely be, from what I heard, we did a story in our magazine some time ago, and which was, oh man, I think it was quite a few months ago, but the last situation in regards to the plan of what may be happening there is, I think, condos or some sort of residential development. And the owners, to their credit, they are working with the residents that are left there. They're not just evicting them. They have sent out notices letting them know that they plan to sell, but they're not using a heavy hand in making the residents leave. And there's one lady that we interviewed. She's on a fixed income, and she doesn't have a lot of options in regards to moving. So the owners are working with her, trying to figure out the best way to relocate her so that the owners can sell that property. Long story short, Elda, it's going to be likely condos or apartments. Let's see here. Hang on. We got a text from a listener. This is, I believe it's from James. He's saying Max, his dog. Oops. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Max, his dog that was mauled 8 years ago, and many community members helped with vet bills, and I remember that, is now 17 years old and happy as ever. Love our Castro Valley family. That, James, because I believe I know your wife, and I think she's the one that sent the information in about that, and that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, James. I'm glad to hear that your dog recovered, because I remember the photos were pretty gnarly with what happened with your dog. So thank you so much, James, for sharing that. I appreciate it. I think that's your name. Oh, it's Angela. That's right. I'm sorry. It's Angela. Okay. Uh, Angela, thank you so much for letting me know about that. Bob is asking an update on the Trader Joe's First Presbyterian project. I actually reached out 2 weeks ago to them asking for an update, and I haven't heard back. So, Bob, thank you for the reminder. That's a very good suggestion for me to request make another request to them to give us an update, because yeah, definitely it was something that was on my mind, that I wanted to reach out to them and see what's going on. Roger is mentioning audio is breaking from time to time. That's basically me taking a pause and collecting my thoughts, uh, or trying to compose thoughts. Good evening, Matella. Let's go back to the roll call and say good evening to Matella. If you guys are, I know this has happened last episode as well. Some people were having difficulty with hearing the show. You might want to refresh your page, or if you have multiple tabs or windows open, close those so that you can get the maximum bit rate for the stream. That's an important. That's a oh. Um, yeah, I guess the mauling happened in 2013. Our moderator, I believe, found the story and posted it in there. Oh boy, I totally forgot what we were talking about. Oh, hey, I don't bring this up too often, but I wanted to bring it up this evening. If you like what we do at Castro Valley News, and we are a business, we're not a nonprofit. We're a business, and we're trying to be on, um, I want to say, the cutting edge. We're trying to be at the forefront of what news is changing into and what news is going to be in the future. Long story short, if you like what we do, please consider pledging monetarily to us. Any amount helps. Like I said, we are a business. We we have dogs to feed. We have humans to feed. We really want to find a way to make what we do sustainable for the folks that we have on our staff, and there's just a couple people that we have that are doing this. We're not out here to to buy the Taj Mahal and drive a Jaguar, but I wanted to say that like the British say, Jaguar. Um, but anyways, please consider pledging if you like what we do. You would help us a great deal. Like I said, we're really just trying to see what we can do to make sure that community news stays in Castro Valley and remains in Castro Valley. And like I said, if you like the fact that um, we find things that are happening in Castro Valley and post them out first and get the information to you quickly and accurately, go ahead and consider being a sponsor. Consider some sort of donation of any denomination. Is denomination one of those $2 words? And I know I'm throwing a lot of verbiage about money here, but verbiage might be another $2 word. But like I said, please, if you like what we do and you want to support us, we're local, Castro Valley. We share things that are of the moment. Um, we've reunited countless pets with owners and countless owners with pets. We've helped locate a couple of missing teens, some missing people. We've helped we've helped the sheriffs arrest quite a few package thieves, some of those porch pirates. We've helped solve some other crimes as well. Like I said last time, I won't say it again. If you like what we do, please donate to us, and you'll help us continue doing what we do. So I'm going to go to the list. I'm going to cross off some things. We did the roll call. Did I miss anyone in the roll call? I don't. I hope not. So we did the roll call. We've got our sponsor, Forrester. Okay, we're cruising. We're cruising through the list. That's a pretty good segue to the next item I have on the list. Cruising. We're cruising. Oh, also, I want to make sure our moderator grabs the petition. If anyone wants to sign it in regards to helping mediate the speeders and traffic on Crow Canyon. I think they've got like 500 signatures. I'm not 100% certain what exactly they're looking for, but the petition is, I believe, in acknowledgement that there is a real problem on Crow Canyon Road with speeders. And I can tell you this from firsthand experience. I have been out with CHP when we did our cops show. We filmed out with CHP out on Crow Canyon Road, and it's no joke. People are just speeding out there. I can't say that it's something that's happening all day. I don't live out there, but I can tell you of I think 2 or 3 times we filmed with CHP out there on Crow Canyon, there are some people that are just they're flying out there, and it doesn't seem safe to me. Jerry is saying he's got some news, and this is a news flash. Did everyone know Connolly's is closing? It's kind of it's kind of a point of hilarity. The Connolly's closing. I think they've been closing for what, 3 months now? I think actually, nothing against Connolly's, but I think they've honestly been in their final days for a month. Anyways, there are a couple more comments here, and thank you guys for the comments and the confessions and the complaints. You guys are keeping you guys are truly lubricating the show and keeping it going. Lubricating is not a $2 word, it's a normal word. Jamie is mentioning, can I give a shout out to CV Tire Pros? And that is Jeff and his crew. They're great folks. They are car guys, which is very cool, which will lead to the next thing that I have on the list. But Jamie is saying, can I give a shout out to CV Tire Pros? She went there on Friday for an oil change and had new wiper blades in the back that I hadn't put on yet. They put them on for me as a courtesy, and I was ever so grateful today when it started raining. Yes, always an A+ service from Jeff and his guys. I totally agree. I recently went to Jeff. I have an old car and I needed an alignment done. We put in new front end bushings, and I had to wait a bit because not too many people, I guess, on his crew wanted to do it, but he had one guy on his crew who did it, and they had to use shims because it's an old car. Top notch, top notch, and good stuff over at Jeff. Sorry, at CV Tire Pros, Jeff and his crew. Thank you guys for that. John is asking, and thank you because you mentioned the next thing that I have on my list. Will there be a cruise night this year? And I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm overjoyed. I'm warm and fuzzy. I'm super happy. There will be a cruise night. We have a tentative cruise night planned for August 28th. Mark your calendars. Castro Valley Cruise Night is coming back. Fingers crossed. August 28th, 6 to 11 p.m. And I think by then, with the vaccine rollout and everything else that's going on, I am hoping that we will be at a point where will be a safe situation for people to be out on the boulevard and enjoy all the cars and the music and the community. We will have, and this is testament to German Navarro and his staff they were certified tire. I don't remember what they are now, but you know where they're at. They're right next to the Safeway on Redwood Road. We'll have some booths there. We'll have a booth from Castro Valley, California Highway Patrol. Alameda County Sheriffs will be there. We are working on getting some other first responders there. The event would not happen without the Castro Valley CHP and the sheriffs, the Alameda County Sheriffs, supporting it and participating. Alameda County Sheriffs have a classic squad car that they bring out. It's an old Nash. I think it's a 52 or a 53. It's super cool. Castro Valley CHP are working on getting some sort of classic CHP cruiser. So like I said, we are very excited that we have a date. Like I said, it's tentative. If things go sideways with the pandemic again, we'll let you know that we're going to cancel it. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. You guys probably already heard that we will be back in the red tier as of tomorrow. John Garcia is mentioning that O'Reilly's trucks got hit. We mentioned that. I think you're mentioning something about the catalytic converters. We posted that. I think it happened earlier in the week. Thank you for the FYI on that. I appreciate that. Unless they got hit again, I hope not. I think we posted something about that. I think 3 or 4 of their trucks had their catalytic converters stolen earlier in the week. But thank you for the FYI, John. I appreciate that. And also, when they were repaving that parking lot, there were some work trucks that got stolen from the crews that were doing the repave job there, which is unfortunate. Sucks. Getting back to cruise night, again, mark your calendars. We have a tentative date. We are super excited. August 28th, 6 to 11 p.m. That is a Saturday. And like I said, we'll be in the parking lot of Certified Tire. We'll have some booths. We're working on getting generators and big lights. And if this event is going to be anything like Cruise Night in 2019, it's going to be gangbusters. It's a blast. It's such a fun night where I can't even put a number to how many classic cars, exotic cars, and lowriders were going up and down the boulevard, and literally it was like Disneyland on the sidewalks. There were just people packed, and I can read your minds, and I'm hoping that we'll be in a better position with social distancing and the vaccine, that it won't be so much of a risk come this August for people to be out on the boulevard. This past August, there really wasn't a debate over canceling cruise night, and it broke a lot of our hearts that we couldn't do that. But we're getting out of we're slowly emerging from this pandemic, very slowly, and I think we're going to have a lot of events coming up, hopefully, that will bring some well-deserved and hard-earned joy to a lot of people in our town. One more time, and you guys are getting this exclusively because, frankly, I love you. And, August 28th, 6 to 11 p.m. is going to be, tentatively, it's going to be cruise night for this year. We'll work on uh, making it as much fun as possible for you guys. I'm not sure where the theater is going to be. Um, Last year we were planning on having a free showing of Bullet, um, and then COVID happened. But COVID is going to this whole pandemic's going to go away at some point, and we'll be able to look at it in hindsight and go, we got through it. We are good. So I know I said this a bunch of times, but mark your calendars, guys. Cruise night, August 28th, 6 to 11. It's going to be a blast. It is always a fun night. It is, and I hope this year more than previous years, I hope this is going to be a big boost for our local businesses to have so many people out and about in their cars, walking on the boulevard, that we can help these businesses kind of bounce back a bit from all of the losses and hardships that they've experienced this year. So, and thank you. Let me make sure I thank the right person. Thank you, John, for mentioning cruise night. As far as the car show, I haven't heard anything about that. If I hear anything, I'll definitely let you guys know as soon as I can. So here we go. Here's some. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Good evening, Denise. I'm just going back to the roll call here. Jerry is mentioning hot August nights. We purposely plan cruise night the same weekend as the Good Guys finals. So we fortunately we get tons and tons of cars from Good Guys at the end of the night. I mean, and you can imagine if it's a Good Guys finals, those are like the top-notch cars. So yeah, we're super excited for cruise night. We'll be releasing more information as things go along, and if we add more features or more cool stuff for people to do, I'll definitely let you know. Getting to something that I know Kimberly is wondering about, the bowling alley. So I reached out to the owner of the bowling alley earlier this evening, and they are planning to open in just a few weeks. And I know a lot of people are mentioning our moderator and Bob, where is Don? Where is Don Schialpi? Where is One Bad Apple? I haven't seen or heard Don on the show for quite some time. Don, if you're listening, man, give us a throw up a signal, not a finger. Yeah. Hello, Don. Don Shalpy, are you out there? I need an excuse to do the silly Sean Connery voice. So, anyways, yes, the bowling alley will be opening from what I heard, and I wouldn't really like mark your calendars with this tentatively in a couple of weeks. I think the bowling alleys. I'm not sure. Laura, we missed Don. Let me let me see if I can get a hold of him. Hang on, guys. Let me just give me a second here. I'm gonna try to do this without creating a huge gap in the show here. You probably can hear me typing, right? Just bear with me, guys. If you hear silence, it's intentional because I'm doing a message here. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that, guys. So I just sent a message to Don letting him know that everyone on the show wants you back and misses you. And I do too. Our moderator is our moderator knows Don very well. We should play Don's favorite game, Beatles or Rolling Stones. John, you John, you are a man of my own heart. Rolling Stones, yes. It's a controversial choice because I know a lot of people have incredible, deep affinity. Is affinity a $2 word? I don't know. Everyone loves the Beatles. I love the Beatles, but I gotta say, the Stones got that attitude. They've got there you go, Denise. We've got a vote going for the Stones here. I like it. They just got that attitude. They got that swagger. They're more, I don't know, more edgy, rough. But anyways, nothing against. Well, we've got to vote for the Beatles. This show has taken an interesting turn. Um, our moderator is asking Tool or Rage Against the Machine. What's interesting is the guitarist from Tool and Rage Against the Machine were in a band when they were in, I think, college together. Adam Jones and what's his name? Anyways, I would pick Tool. I would pick Tool over most bands. Um, Now we're talking. This is a perfect show for Don, because we're talking about music. I, I I haven't heard back from him, so I don't know if he's around. But getting back on track, sort of. Yeah, the bowling alley supposedly, tentatively, will be opening in a couple weeks. So as soon as I hear something, I'll definitely let you guys know. Um, that Matella is mentioning, yeah, Don, we all need to know that you're okay. I reached out. I hope I hope he graces us with his presence. Bob is asking, what's a Sia? I'm too old for today's pop culture. I think she's from, oh gosh, she's a singer. She's a wonderful singer. Yeah. Anyways, um, also another thing I wanted to share with you guys. This was completely awesome on Saturday, and I shared something about this the day of. I happened to be just driving down the boulevard, and in the corner of my eye, I happened to look at Kimberly. You're welcome. Denise is picking Rage Against the Machine over Tool, and I don't agree with you, but that's okay. Um, so near the Adobe Center, there's a homeless gentleman that's been there pretty much consistently for a while, and I happened to be at the red light near I think the auto place, and as I just went through the green light there, I saw a couple, a man and a woman, and in their hands they had a pizza, and they approached the homeless man and gave him the pizza. And it was one of those positive things that I had to share with you guys, and I wanted to share with you guys again that it was totally awesome to see that. Really, just really, it honestly, with the lack of saying anything else, it really totally made my day. Which, if you saw it, it would have made your day as well. And it's those little simple acts of kindness and generosity that really make a huge difference in the world and in somebody else's life. And I'm probably sounding preachy here, but um, with that said, a little goes a long way. That's that. Little kindness goes a long way. A lot of people asking about when is Nick the Greek going to open in the village, and it from what it looks like, they are really moving and shaking on that place. As of today, or a couple days ago, I saw they're cutting into the cement, and they're situated where Worldwide Art used to be in the village, and they're across from Ray Talbot Salon. Shout out to the wonderful people at Ray Talbot Salon. They are good people, local folks. So getting back to Nick the Greek, not only are they cutting into the cement, they actually have some kitchen fixtures in there already. So I would guess they might be open in a month, because I mean they're already painting the outside. They've got their signs up. They are rocking and rolling, and there's a buzz around Nick the Greek, which is cool. A lot of people are excited about that place opening. A lot of people are singing the praises of Nick the Greek's food. So, and well, let me cross that off the list there. Oh, one more time. If you guys have a comment or complaint or confession or whatever, you can call. Texting might be easier. It's 510-331-9112, and we will mediate, and I don't know, we won't mediate on it. We will discuss whatever's on your mind. So feel free to text that in 510-331-9112. You can call as well, but if you call, you're going to be on the air. So I understand a lot of people would not want to be on the air. When we first started this, I was reluctant to be on the air. But thanks to you guys, I've improved a lot. Our mediator just asked if we are still doing the free stickers, and yes, the answer is yes, unequivocally, enthusiastically, joyously. Yes, we are still giving out the free the Star Wars font Castro Valley stickers. All you have to do is, if you go to a local business, get your receipt, take a picture, email it to us at bizsticker, B-I-Z sticker at gmail.com, and we will send you one of those fancy, handsome, stylish Castro Valley bumper stickers. It says Castro Valley in the font of, it's a Star Wars font. They're super cool. If you don't have one, all the cool kids have them on their lockers, and and you need one too. That was so silly. Anyways, a couple questions about what's happening with Rite Aid. I haven't gotten anything from them. I apologize. I'm getting nowhere. I have a contact with them, and I've left probably, uh, oh gosh, it's probably been 10 messages already. Bob is asking, when is Slice House opening? I don't have a date on that. It should be fairly easy because I think it was a crepe shop. I think it's on Parrot Street. It should be fairly easy to change over that kitchen for for what Tony's doing. And I'm a little bummed because I was hoping that we would have a homecoming for Tony Gemignani's one of his restaurants. We were close. When I think it was Caro's closed, Tony was looking at that location, but I think there was some sort of scheduling, and Denica's ended up getting it. Nothing against Denica's because they are wonderful people. They have wonderful food, but it would be awesome if we could score. I think it would be a coup if we could get Tony Gemignani to come back to Castro Valley, and coup might be a $2 word. It might be a $3 word if people know how to spell it. It's COUP, I believe. Yeah, Rite Aid. I wish I could get some info for you guys. I could speculate. It kind of looks like maybe they might be uh, be setting something up to be a vaccination site, but I just don't know. I really wish I could get some info because there's a lot of people curious, myself included, in what's happening there. Oh, another new business. Laura is mentioning. Yeah, Bob is mentioning El Rancho is available. That would be a great location. It might. I don't know if it would be too big for him though. Um, he would definitely pack him in because Tony Tony puts on a good pizza. He always has. Um, oh, so we're talking about food places in the village. Village is just there's a lot of stuff happening in the village. We're losing, unfortunately, Hallmark is closing after 47 years, which is sad. Um, Shout out to Bill and his staff. Um, uh, that Hallmark store is like a staple um, in the village, and it's sad to see them close. But I think Bill is probably going to enjoy retirement, and yeah, if you get a chance, there's a big sale happening at the Hallmark store. Go check them out. They're doing raffles, giveaway, lots of giveaways. Stuff is on sale, and go say hello and maybe goodbye to Bill over at the Hallmark store. Yeah, I know personally. I know a former employee at the Hallmark store, and I sent the link to our story when we found out that they were closing. I sent it to her on Instagram, and she responded. She's like, "I'm going to cry now," and it was sad because she had worked there for so long and was part of that Hallmark family. And so many young folks kind of got their first jobs at the Hallmark store. They've been there for 47 years, and yeah. So the changes happening at the village right next to Nick the Greek is going to be a yours truly kind of a bakery restaurant in the former Limeleaf Thai location. And I don't know if you guys ever, if anyone out there, if you guys had the chance to try Limeleaf Thai, they were amazing. They had fantastic food. Unfortunately, that location was the spot where I don't know the exact number, but at least 5 or 6 cars went through the front of that storefront. I guess people confuse the brake for the gas a lot at that location. So um, hopefully they can put some. They're called bollards um, in front of that store. So if someone hits the gas instead of the brake, they'll hit the bollard instead of going into that storefront at least 5 times in the past couple years. Laura is mentioning lots of great stuff on sale at Hallmark. Spent a small fortune there this weekend. They were packed. when they first opened for that sale that they were doing. Lots of people going in there. A lot of memories in that stretch of the village. I remember as far back when there was a video store there. Play It Again, I think. And of course, Dryden Tide. The village just isn't the same without the smell of potpourri from Dryden Tide. And I had a friend who worked at Dryden Tide for a lot of years too. They were there for a lot of years, and a lot of young folks got their first jobs there too. It's just some of those. It's one of those things that makes um, a community when people remember, or or adults, people of a different generation now remember that that was their first job. It's just but it's it's a sign of the times that things are constantly changing and constantly evolving in our town, and the village is definitely changing. I think it's great. There's but anyways, um yeah, it's called Yours Truly. It's a bakery, I believe, and they will be opening July and August. Um, I believe the owner or the new proprietor is also known as Macarons by Natalie. So it's someone local, and I think it's cool. I think it's great. I know. Let me cross this off the list here. I know there's been some some funky buzz about people. Oh, we're getting a new eatery in the village, and what we need is this, and what we need is that. What we need is more businesses opening. We're in a pandemic, and I think it's completely awesome that we're having Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Matella is commented, who wants to wager on who will end up actually closing first? Connolly's or Hallmark? I think Hallmark will probably close first, but that's a betting pool that should be interesting. Thank you for the laugh, Matella. I appreciate that. Getting back to the village, I think, or in the situation that we're getting more eateries, people like to eat. And when they go to a restaurant, I'm hoping that there's going to be some cross pollination between these new restaurants and the mom and pop shops or the independent stores that we have in the village, because we are fortunate to have quite a few locally owned independent shops in the village. Not as many as we used to, but we've got Eden Bicycles. Shout out to Chris Padavana. We've got Robin's Nest. Shout out to Lorraine and her staff. Shout out to Ray Talbot Salon. They get another shout out. They're local people, independent place. Dana's Party Planet, local independent place. Um, I will mention Vitality Bowl. It's a chain, but the franchisee is someone who lives in town. Posh Bagel is they're not as local as they were, but they're Bay Area owned people. It's a franchise. So I think, or I'm hoping, Aroma Cuisine. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Satinder and her staff. Um, Shout out to Health Unlimited. So I'm hoping that when we bring in these additional restaurants, these eateries, hopefully, like I said, there'll be some people who go to Nick the Greek and say, "Well, hey, I'm gonna go get my hair done at Ray Talbot, or I'm gonna go do some art at Aaron's Art Studio." That is what I hope. The more foot traffic you have in a shopping center, the more likely it is that people will, like I said, cross pollinate and shop at the other places. Also happening in the village, right next to Eden Bicycles, will be 88 Bao Bao. I hope I said that right. Um, I believe they do dumplings and Asian food. Uh, Anything that's going to bring more people to that shopping center, the better, because the village really kind of is the center of our town. Next to the library, I think those are the two big centers, hubs of activity in our town. So the more people that are going to be in the village, the more likely they will shop local. They might walk across the street and go to the Cuttery. They might go to um, I can't think of the names of those other shops in there. They might go look at the antiques at Michelle Markovich's place, even though she's been closed forever. And I wish she would open. Shout out to Michelle Markovich if you are listening. It was good seeing you the other day, and you are one of my favorite. You are among my favorite people in Castro Valley. If anybody else knows Michelle, she is awesome. She's a wonderful person, and I wish she would open her shop because she has tons of great stuff. So, Bob is mentioning Brian at Big Apple Bagels, local owner. Bob said he stopped going because of COVID. You can actually phone in and they'll bring it out to you, Bob, if you want to go to Big Apple Bagels. You can also do, I think you can do any of the other phone in delivery things. I'm not going to give them any advertising time here, but yeah, Big Apple Bagels, they do it. They do good stuff. Matella is super excited to get a local Chinese dumpling place, much needed, and they will do really well. I agree. We posted something about their opening, and people sing the praises. There's one in Dublin, very popular. Karen, thank you so much for mentioning the shoe shop. I don't know how I completely overlooked that. Independent Mel's Shoe Clinic. You know their window. They have all of the cool keychains. They have, I just saw it today, they have a Chewbacca head cookie jar. Awesome. Mel's Shoe Clinic, check them out. So 88 Bao Bao. I hope I said that right again. Chinese food, dumplings, extremely popular. Lot of buzz around them. Also, coming to Castro Valley eventually, at some point, hopefully in the near future, is Beer Baron at the old Spanky's. I'm excited. It's a whiskey bar. They have other locations, I think in Livermore, I think in Oakland as well. Look them up. They have good stuff. Bob is mentioning the village is becoming a giant food court. Not bad if you can park. I don't have difficulty parking in the village, but I know there are people who have mobility issues. So hopefully you can find a place to park. Yep. Karen is mentioning Health Unlimited. Shout out to Ethan and his crew there. Good stuff, great stuff. They also have a location, Pelton Center in San Leandro, I believe. So, the more people that are shopping local, the better. And since we're talking about stores, I want to give some love and some shout outs to, I didn't see Linda in the roll call, um, but hopefully she'll hear this tomorrow. I want to give shout outs to Linda Rourke and staff at Pete's Hardware. This is their 95th anniversary, and I dare you to find some other businesses that have been going strong and ethically and as awesome as Pete's Hardware. Good people, they invest their time, their money, and their resources in our community, and congratulations to them for their 95th anniversary. Another anniversary is 20 years. It's been 20 years that we've had Aaron's Art Studio in the village, and that's another independent store, independent shop in the village. I'm being educated with this. They are a PYOP shop, which is paint your own pottery. There's not a lot of those around. And there's not a lot of businesses that are owned by an awesome person like Aaron. I've known Aaron since I worked with the Forum, and that's a long time, longer than I would like to confess. I mean, not that I've known Aaron too long, but I'm saying it's been a long time since I rock and oh, that's a Led Zeppelin song. Sorry. Where's Don when you need him? I just dropped the Led Zeppelin reference, and that would be right up Don's alley. Um, but getting back to Aaron, Aaron is awesome. You know, during the pandemic, a lot of our museums have been closed. Some may be opening now, but Aaron's art studio is kind of like a little. Sorry, I'm just reading a comment. The ums are going. Yeah, Bob, you're right. The ums are going wild. But Aaron's art studio 20-year anniversary. They're doing a sale, 20% off all in-store purchases. It's awesome that we have so many of these long-standing businesses. Pete's Hardware, 95 years. It's mind-blowing. They've been open 95 years and still successful and thriving. And Aaron's Art Studio, awesome, awesome independently owned business. Since we're talking about businesses, we're going into the red tier tomorrow. Restaurants are going to be able to do indoor dining at a lesser percentage. Some of the gyms are going to be able to open. Please continue to shop local. Please continue to support these local merchants who definitely need our help. They need our, I'm being frank, they need our money, they need our support. Continue to do that. Please do that as much as you can. Oh, and I mentioned something about some information for John, and I need to come full circle for that. If you guys didn't see, there's a new there's two new lights at the intersection of Chester and Castro Valley Boulevard to help people get across that street. They were just being installed today. And that leads back to a conversation that I had with John about the intersection, the crosswalk by the ice creamery, leading from the ice creamery to the village and from the village to the ice creamery. There's another sign. I I think it was installed recently that tells people who are making that left turn that they need to yield to people crossing in that crosswalk. And I went from the village to the ice creamery today in that crosswalk, and there is a really nice lag time where the sign says that you can walk now, and the light actually turns green for those people turning. So I think, and I'm not lying, and I wasn't walking fast, but I think I made it like halfway in that intersection before the light turned green. And to their credit, that's actually what Public Works said that they would do, that they would increase that lag time. Am I saying that's the maximum fix for that crosswalk? No, because you and I know people are just blasting through our town sometimes and they're just speeding up and down the boulevard. They're in a rush, but hopefully that will mediate some of the bad things that happen in that intersection. If it doesn't, you know, let's bug county public works and let them know that we're not happy with what's happening there. But to their credit, when I had that conversation with that gentleman at Public Works, we I brought up the that intersection at Chester and Castro Valley Boulevard, and he told me, he goes, I'm going to look that up, and I think it's a good candidate for a lighted intersection. And I'll tell you this, he kept his word, and that's awesome. I think that's cool. That's impressive. He kept his word, and I'm saying my experience walking through that intersection, that delay in the traffic light, I think will help. I hope will help because, you know, John knows, I've seen it. That crosswalk is hairy. It's tough. It's ugly. So please, guys, if you're out there driving, slow down a little bit and be mindful for the pedestrians, because and Tiara is mentioning there are way too many spots in Castro Valley that need more lights or speed humps. I totally agree. If you're mentioning speed humps on a public street, all you need to do is start a petition, and you need a certain amount of signatures from your neighbors to get the speed humps installed. They don't cost you anything. They do cost the county because they're the ones who are installing them. But we just posted the link to Alameda County Public Works. Give their website a look if you want speed humps installed. Download the petition information. Get that done. TR is mentioning people need to slow down. That is true. You can also reach out if you have a specific area in Castro Valley you want the CHP to do additional coverage at. Call them up, 510-581-9028. That is the Castro Valley CHP office number, 510-581-9028. Let them know the location that you see people speeding or drivers misbehaving in general, and request additional coverage. They will do it. They like to be in the community. They like to help people. With all that said, that's another show for Tuesday. I got a list here. I just threw it across the room. I'll pick that up later. Thank you guys for making this show awesome. Without you guys, it would be nothing. Without you guys, our page would be nothing. You guys really are Castro Valley News. And I thank you for that. Thank you for your patience in my stammering and all of my ums and my blathering. Yeah, that is the show. Thank you guys for being awesome. If you have a senior in your family who may be isolated or alone because of the pandemic, please reach out to them. If you have a neighbor who's a senior and you feel or think they may be isolated or alone because of the pandemic, please reach out to them. Let them know they are cared about. Let them know that if they need an errand ran, or if they need something done, please offer your time if you can. A lot of the senior citizens in our community are alone because of this pandemic, because of the situation that we're in. And please, if you can, if you have the time, if you have it, the space within your heart, reach out to them. Let them know that they're cared about. And with that said, hey, it's been another wonderful show. Thank you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel. Hey guys, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. Thank you guys. Stay safe. Be good to each other.